So often, well-meaning friends and loved ones don't know what to say to a person who's just experienced a loss. So they say nothing at all, and they fear saying the wrong thing. So those grieving often feel abandoned by friends in the middle of their loss because of this. And although many of the following statements may sound familiar, it's important to understand that these statements are often not very helpful. Grief is about a broken heart, yet we often speak to people's intellect as opposed to their heart. So see if some of these sound familiar. And by the way, avoid these statements if you can. Time heals all wounds. Time doesn't heal all wounds, although healing takes time. Try to look for the good in the situation. Be positive. Your loved one is in a better place. There's no better place for them except for right here. The Lord never gives us more than we can handle. It's not how I felt. Try not to cry. They wouldn't want you to cry. Come on. I know how you feel. I think this is the worst thing we can say because we never really know how somebody else feels, and it tends to make people grieving very angry. Everything will be okay. Believe this for the person and hold on to hope, but it tends to feel like you're dismissing someone's grief by saying that. Let me know if I can do anything for you. Just show up and do something if you want to. Those grieving don't often call to ask for help. So encourage them to have a list of chores or errands that need to be done so that when people ask, if you ask, they have something concrete to give them. How about this one? You're still young. You'll meet somebody else. You'll have more children. It was God's will. Listen, many people already feel angry with God, and this won't help at the time. It all happened for the best. This can feel shockingly painful. You can have other children. Children can never, ever be replaced. It's time to put this behind you. This is spoken to many children and teens by adults, and I work with these kids that they tell me this. There is no timeline to grieve, adults out there. We all grieve in our own way and for as long as we need to. Children re-grieve at each developmental stage. Grief really never ends, but it changes. The acute pain dissipates in time, yet holidays, special days, other times can feel just as acute as when the loss first occurred. I call this ambushed by grief. You have your whole life ahead of you. Many people grieving don't even know if they can or want to go on another hour in this pain. So pointing out that they have a whole life to live without their loved one is not helpful at all. How about this one? At least he or she is out of pain. Well, I'm not. Be strong. Well, here we're telling people not to cry and to hold in their feelings. Not good. Something good will come of this. Maybe it will. And even if it doesn't, most people would trade the good that came from it for the person that they lost in the moment. You can always remarry. People are not replaceable. There are other fish in the sea. Well, I didn't lose a fish, I lost a person. You can get a new dog, cat, or bird. Don't cry as it will upset your mother, father, sister, brother. This creates a sense of guilt and a burden of responsibility. How about this? He or she had a good life or a long life. Maybe they did. Maybe not, but it wasn't long enough for the person grieving. Now you are the man or woman of the house, heavy burden to place on children or teens. This has caused much pain in many children's and teens' lives that I work with as their coach. If you think this is bad, I know a family, ... Let's not compare or minimize other losses. Let me tell you about my own loss, which is similar to yours. There will be a time for you to share, but not right now. Your role is to listen and stay with the person's loss. When we bring the focus to ourselves, we leave the person in a really bad way. They want to not feel alone. Grief shared allows the person to feel some relief for a time before they need to gather it all up and make it into a new tomorrow. Some more might be like, come on, it's been long enough. There's a reason for everything. They did what, they came here to do and it was their time to go. They were so good. God wanted them with him. Aren't you over them yet? They've been dead for a while now. Or she brought this on herself. I hear that often with clients whose loved ones died maybe by lung cancer from smoking or death by suicide, or at least she lived a long life. Many people die young. What would you add to this list?